John Yoo joins me now. John, welcome. Good to have you with us. You see this pushback from Muriel Bowser, the mayor of Washington, D.C. Here's something that she said on The Breakfast Club. Let's watch this.
It is a step in fascism when the federal government can Bigfoot sovereign states. That's not us. We should be the 51st state. I think that is what he is trying to make it normal, where citizens say the federal government should overtake local policing.
So she's saying that President Trump is trying to normalize a federal takeover of local city police departments by using the one place where he has the authority to do that, as you pointed out in your piece, John. What do you say about that?
I think the mayor needs to look more closely at the Constitution. She may be right when it comes to other big city mayors who are also experiencing rising crime. Crime under the Constitution is primarily for state government and local government, but not Washington, D.C. Washington, D.C. is unique. It is the only federal city. It is uniquely under the control of the federal government. The mayor herself is confused. She's not a local government official. She herself is a federal employee. D.C. is just a sub-agency of the national government. And President Trump, has the constitutional authority and responsibility to take care that the laws are faithfully executed. That includes Washington, D.C. And so if these federal employees, the mayor, the police chief, the city council, are not getting the job done and getting violent crime down, then President Trump has the constitutional authority to send in the National Guard, to send in federal law enforcement. And one other thing, Martha, that people are missing, this 30-day window you hear about, that's only with regard to the president taking over the police force in Washington, D.C. That does not limit the National Guard. That does not limit the FBI. President Trump can keep those forces on the ground for as long as he thinks is necessary to get violent crime under control in the city.
Well, let me ask you about this. We saw Jeanine Pirro, the U.S. attorney in D.C., talking about changing the law. She said, we're going to change the laws here because the laws are so restrictive around juvenile offenders. And let's put up the screen about how many of these crimes that are happening in D.C., 51% done by juveniles, 52% robbery and arrest. You can see these numbers up on the screen. But the three laws that are in effect by the City Council, the Youth Rehabilitation Law, the Incarceration Reduction Amendment Act, the Second Chance Amendment Act, these really hamstring leadership in Washington, John, because you can arrest someone, but then all of these laws that are in place give them the opportunity to let them go and to limit the amount of time that they're going to stay in jail. So how can these efforts by Pam Bondi and Jeanine Pirro get around those laws?
You know, Martha, I hate to see any Fox News host leave the channel. But in this one case, I think this is a great thing that she has left Fox to be U.S. attorney. She's not just the top federal prosecutor in Washington. In Washington, D.C., again, because it's a federal city, she is the top prosecutor for all crimes in Washington. And she put her finger on it. She wrote this op-ed I read in the Washington Post this morning saying that D.C. has too lenient an attitude in its laws and its practices towards kids who are committing crimes. You could be 17. You could be 16 and commit a violent crime and still maybe serve no jail time under DC's relaxed attitude. So I think she's right. Ultimately, she should go not just to the DC City Council, but Congress could actually change these laws too and say, if you're committing crimes that are violent, that would result in serious punishments for adults, children should be tried that way too.
So Congress could change those city council laws in DC, John, quickly, if you can?
Yes, under the Constitution, D.C. is ultimately Congress is ultimately the legislature in charge of D.C.
Well,
they can override the city council.
You've put your finger on it. That's exactly how they're going to try to get around this city council that has put in such lenient laws. There's also this issue of truancy. A lot of these kids are out on the street. Their parents don't know where they are. Some of them aren't showing up for school. And that is also on the books as a way to reel them in if they're not showing up for school, but it's almost never enforced, right? Quickly, if you can, John.
I think that's a very good idea. Congress can take into account new strategies to get crime down and try them in DC first, rather than letting this kind of woke ideology about crime go run rampant in DC with the city government.
Yeah, these lenient rules do not seem to be creating a more positive society or stronger, more able young people in these situations. John Yoo, thank you very much. Great to see you.
Thanks, Martha.
Hey, it's Will Cain. Click here to subscribe to the Fox News channel on YouTube. It's the best way to get our latest interviews and highlights. And click to subscribe to the Will Cain podcast for full episodes right now.